and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Honor Vlog. I'm Kay Williams, author of Blue Honor, Deck Operation Deceit, and the Trilokia trilogy. And it looks like book 3 will be coming out soon. That's Lucent Rise, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I haven't quite made the trailer yet, but I'm hoping to. That should be pretty awesome. If you haven't checked out the other ones, the trailers are here on YouTube, and you can check them also in the blog. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that a lot of us authors experience, and that's called imposter. Ooh. That's kind of when you feel like you're not quite the expert that you might be considered in your field, and a lot of different people go through imposter syndrome. When I get it, it's so random. I think the most predictable time for me is when I have an edit, like I just went through for the Lucent Rise, speaking of the release. When you go back through there and you get some of the feedback and stuff from your editor, maybe you're just looking at it yourself. My editors always tell me, you're a very strong writer. There's not much that I had to do. And I'm very thankful to author Kara Storti for that. She did a lot of work with me on just fixing up where I was as far as I was as a writer, just by being my editor and just by walking me through various edits and stuff and corrections. And I always felt like I didn't have to worry about that imposter syndrome. But it does crop up here and there, and usually for me it is alongside of an edit or when I put something out, because I get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. It's kind of like a stage fright, so to speak. It's like, okay, here's my new production, and I'm going to go out on stage for the first time and show everybody this new book, for some people, my new film, whatever. So I'm going to show that to you, and of course there's no feedback yet from the general audience that you're bringing your artwork to. So in a lot of cases you kind of get a little like, am I going to be able to fool them again? I remember Heath Ledger talking about that, God rest him. He felt like an imposter quite often, and those were his words. I have fooled them again, you know. And he was a brilliant actor. And it's like, I guess it doesn't matter where you are, really, in your career or how much you've done. You can get imposter syndrome because you care. You care what people think about your artwork and your performance and what you're putting out there. And even if you did your best and you have all the right people and all the money behind you and all of the skills, you always worry that, you're going to mess up and you're not going to quite get it right. And whatever it is that's missing, somebody's finally going to go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And there's always going to be somebody out there who has a critique that says, oh my God, this was the worst ever. Oh my God, plot holes. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. And it's like, they just picked up on that. And for them, it was a plot hole, or they're not seeing it clearly enough. There was, I forget which one it was. It might have been Up Deck. Somebody felt like there was a little bit of a plot hole, and it was something between the characters relationship-wise. I can't remember now. It's like, I kind of don't let things get me down. I probably should have looked it up before I did this video so I could talk a little bit more about it. But, just talking about like X plot hole in the thing, not understanding why this character was motivated to do this and why couldn't you do that. And it's like, well, the world just doesn't unfold like that. Not for everybody. It might unfold for some like that, but when you're writing characters and stuff, you're writing a trajectory for them, and that's the plot. And not everybody will choose the same things. I guess it's the same question as, well, like Trilocchio, why doesn't she just leave? Why doesn't Mile just leave? Sorry, spoiler. And, or Holly, why are they taking the abuse? And it's like, it's so much more complicated than that. If you haven't been a victim of domestic violence, if you haven't been in love, if you haven't had like a bad relationship, if you haven't been a victim of a narcissist or sociopath, if you haven't been manipulated in a way, you know, congratulations. That's fantastic, and I hope that you never go through that. In the real world, a lot of people do get yoinked by that. And they're not bad people, they're not flawed, and it's not a plot hole in their life. We make choices trying to hang on because the person that was presented to us we believe in. And we want that back. And Holly, Mile are no different. They want that back. They want Dominic or Jet to be better men, to be the person that they thought that they had fallen in love with. It's not a plot hole. Same thing for Claire and Karsten. I just remembered what the plot hole was. The bead having the Nazi symbol on it. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of things in the Spy Museum that were used by spies that contain marks of their nations. Facts. So why would somebody use something that had a Nazi mark on it? Arrogance. That moment is there to show you how powerful and arrogant Karsten is. In that moment, he has utter control. And something bad is going to happen because of that. So that bead was supposed to be passed to him by someone else, and that symbol also tells him this is direction, this is orders, this is whatever, you know, it's official. Something like that wasn't supposed to be seen. He was supposed to pick it up alone, and he knows how to dispose of it. You know, I mean, we laugh and stuff at the cartoons. They have that in there all the time. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Right? So he would have destroyed something like that. But it's small. It's very small. Somebody would have to be sitting directly next to him and look down in his hand to see that. And it isn't a plot hole because arrogance. Claire is meant to see it. He took her for a reason. Her father put him in her way. He knew something would come of that. And that's why you see him a little reluctant to take her with him. So we often don't think more deeply and stuff about the symbolism and the things that are going on. Now, spies today probably would avoid such things. But in yesteryear, not so much, because spying and stuff, you know, the clandestine services are about as old as time, but they're as arrogant as ever, you know, and it's like, and things had to be marked. Plus, there weren't cell phones, there weren't other things, stuff couldn't be stashed, pictures taken of it, witnesses, etc. So it was a lot easier to dispose of these little trinkets and stuff, and you can imagine it was probably, you know, very easily scratched off, maybe, who knows, filed off, but it was up to Karsten to destroy that part of it. Anyway, when things like that come up, you can often feel like an imposter because it calls into question your skill and your knowledge, etc. But the fact is that you did those things for a reason. It's fiction. There's supposed to be a suspension of belief. It's not supposed to be 100% accurate either. I'm pretty sure there are no little devices like that from World War II. It's made up. It is a plot device. And you know, it's okay, though, to feel like an imposter. I want authors to know that it's okay, because that helps you think a little bit more critically about what it is that you're doing. It may help you take notice of something that might be a little bit of a weak spot for you, but don't ever let it stop you. Take what you can and leave the rest. It's kind of like a buffet. Criticism, editing, etc., it's all connected to that criticism. Take what you can to help you get better, and then walk away from the rest. Maybe later you'll have a use for that. Maybe you'll find out, 6 months later, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I was kind of in a bad mood that day and I really didn't take that critique too well, but now I can kind of see where they're coming from, and I'm going to be a better writer for that. You can let things sit. But I'll tell you what, there are also people out there who want to put up a wall. They want to stop you. They just want to bitch and complain. Don't feel like an imposter. If you're doing the work, you're an author. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.